We fell in love with Siem Reap, but we feel like we only just scratched the surface of Cambodia. So before we head to Vietnam, we've come to the capital to explore that history and culture a little bit deeper.
We've heard it's impossible to appreciate Cambodia's resilience without diving into their quite painful past. So we're starting the day by doing something that we don't normally put in the vlogs.
$15, you have small money?
Thank you.
We've been told countless times that we need to come to the former S21 prison, which is now a museum. We've decided to both get the audio headset so we can truly immerse ourselves here and learn about what we're seeing.
We are not historical experts at all, but that feels like something you have to do if you come to Phnom Penh.
It's one thing hearing about or reading about the history, but actually being here where it happened, it's very heavy and very hard, but it is important.
I think if you want to learn a little bit more about what happened here in the 70s, we were recommended a movie that we watched on the bus over here. We'll link it in the description below. It's like the perspective of the local people when everything happened. It's, again, pretty heavy. Really glad we came though. It's a lot to digest, so I think we're just going to go back to our hotel and decompress. After a relatively depressing start to the day, we wanted to see Phnom Penh and Cambodia in a different light, so we decided to book on a sunset cruise.
We had no idea these existed, but where we got dropped off on the bus from Siem Reap, they were all taking off from there. And as soon as we saw it, we both looked at each other and went, yeah, we have to do that.
Yeah, like we've been on the Mekong before, but we need to go on it again. Apparently cruising down rivers is something that we do now pretty frequently.
Unfortunately, the weather isn't currently on our side. We have our fingers and toes crossed that these dark grey clouds are gonna bugger off.
We'll see. Okay, we may not have picked the perfect day for it, but we did pick the perfect cruise because it is the cheapest option. There are countless boats that you can pick and different packages within those boats. We picked the plain basic one, and it was 15 Australian dollars per person to do this. It's a 90-minute cruise. That's pretty good. So this cruise, there are multiple different packages you can get, like I said, on the gangplank coming in, but the first one, the basic one, is just the cruise itself. So 90 minutes on the water, you get to go through the Mekong and the other local river, which I think we're on now. The next package up is just drinks included, which is unlimited, like beer and soft drink, which is pretty good. And then another $5 on top of that will get you the buffet too. So we went for the very basic one. So we ended up getting a drink, but if we only get 2, it still works out cheaper to get it on board than getting 3 on the package. And if you do get here and you see everyone else drinking and you get really jealous, like I did, you can upgrade on board and it's the same price as if you were to buy it before you get here, so you can feel free to not make a decision until you get here. If you do want to do a la carte like we are, they're very nice about it and they say you can pay at the end of the cruise. You can't go anywhere anyway. You're not going to run away.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, you got the thrills for the pills. I like that. Oh, it's quite like fruity or lemony, something.
A little bit. You did brush your teeth.
Oh, maybe it's that. No, it has like an after flavour. Wow, oh my god, it tastes so different in Cambodia.
Colombia.
lucky with the weather in the end. It's not raining, and I feel like the clouds could give us a really nice sunset. I will say the food looks delicious. And if we didn't already have dinner plans, I think we would be upgrading and just having dinner on here, and we would have gone to the museum and gone to the river, and that's it. One thing we agreed to this year was trying to have date nights while we're still on the road, and I feel like this is a pretty epic date night.
One super interesting fact about this river that we're on now, the Bassac, is that twice a year it actually changes direction. So when it floods and the winter season comes in, the water starts moving back into the Bassac lake, and in the dry season it switches direction.
But the night's only just beginning for us. We're doing one of our favourite things to do in any city we visit.
So because we got the cheaper package that doesn't include meals, we are starving, therefore we are heading to find some food. Whoa, that's slippery.
Yeah, almost fell over. Does that look like where it is?
Yeah. Alright, we're off to find the night market. I will say the prices between Cambodia, specifically Phnom Penh, and like Thailand are quite different. We actually found it a little bit expensive here. The exception to that rule is Grab. Instead of cars here, it's all tuk-tuk, so it's a really reasonable price. And I think pretty much every trip we've taken so far has been like $2, $2.50, and this is no exception.
The one thing I can't figure out is you get the registration number, and I don't know where that is on a tuk-tuk.
20 minutes and like $2.20 later, we have made it to the Phnom Penh night market. This place is on most people's list of things you have to see when you come to Phnom Penh, and it's filled with souvenirs and clothes and apparently a section of food.
Yes, let's go there. This is so cool. It looks like a food market, but then in the middle there's just mats so you can have a little picnic with everyone.
Too tall for here. Oh, sorry. That was a much smaller market than we anticipated. The food looked and smelled really good, but I think we're gonna try and go somewhere a little bit more higher rated. Also, I just had to get out of that market because my back was actually hurting about how much we had to duck.
If you were in the market for some genuine Ray-Bans or Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton, some Crocs, you could definitely get them there. Super authentic, I'm sure.
So, laneways in Phnom Penh, much like in Melbourne, Australia, they are taking over as like the popular thing to go to and the popular thing to kind of hang out at. So we've come to a specific place that was like the cornerstone of this laneway before it became big to get some dumplings.
Judge us, there is nothing worse than wasting a meal when you're on the road. So we tend to turn to places like TripAdvisor or Google reviews to figure out where we want to eat. And when one of the top places in Phnom Penh happened to be a dumpling house, we couldn't say no.
So we are getting two different types of dumpling. We're getting one fried, it's like a satay chicken, and it's going to be fried. I'm really excited for them. We're also getting something called beef. That's not the thing I don't know. Beef dumplings with the shiso sauce, which is supposed to be like a sesame seedy, soy saucy, really yummy sauce. And we're getting those steamed.
Sorry if you can't hear us, it is on and popping. It's a Saturday night and everyone is out of the laneways. I'm so glad we came here though, because I had no idea that laneways like this existed in Cambodia. Every time someone else's plate comes out, I'm like, bring it to me. I believe this is the beef one. That beef is so tender, but it is so flavorful, but also really mild. You're gonna really enjoy those, I think. And you can tell they're all homemade because they're slightly different shapes and sizes.
The other way we know that they're like homemade is because I ran into them when I was on my way to the toilet and I saw them actually making them. We haven't had the chicken ones yet, but you should get the beef ones. They are really, really good. I'm not very good at describing food, and if you watch this channel, you know that, but yum yum.
These dumplings we got fried, and they are chicken satay flavour. I don't think I've ever had a dumpling that is that flavour. They have the satay sauce on top, and there's this tiny kick to it. I can handle it, so probably anyone can, but it does get right up to the level for me.
So the Bassac laneway was already super busy, but I saw multiple signs saying that it starts kicking off at 8 o'clock. Like they have DJs and things coming in very, very shortly. So we're getting out of here.